Hello everyone and welcome back. As you can see, it's a nice sunny day out here today, so we're going to be getting back out and doing a bit more on the van. Really glad that we can get back out and carry on with this build. It's getting later in the year and we want to get out and start using the van, so let's go ahead and start building some more. Today we're going to be starting with the shower build. This is one of the biggest units that we're going to be putting inside the van, so we want to make sure that we get this in the right location so that all the other cabinets that fit around it on the left hand side are able to be positioned properly. This is a shower tray we're going for. We've gone for a square shower tray. There are more rectangular ones which you can fit toilets on the side, but we've gone for a slightly bigger shower tray, so we're going to be building the cabinet to fit around the outside of this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to be building a frame for the outside of the shower using this timber just here as our legs. Then we're going to be fitting this 4x1 on the outside just to provide us with a frame that we're going to be able to then attach the upright ply panels onto. It's not going to be supporting the weight of the shower tray. The shower tray sits on the floor on its own. This is just a framing for the outside, just so that we can attach the upright ply panels to. So what we've done is we've cut out 4 of these upright legs. We're now going to be cutting 4 lengths of this to go around the outside of the shower tray, and then that's going to be our base that we're going to fix into the floor of the van. Then we can attach the upright panels onto that. So we've now cut out the 4x1 pieces of timber using the chop saw. So now we can start building the box. This is going to be fitted onto the floor of the van. Then we'll be sitting the shower tray down over the top. So this gives us a nice rigid base on which to attach the upright panels to. So we're just going to fix these together with screws to make our square, and then the shower tray will sit down inside this box. So we've now completed the square. As you can see, we've got the 4 corner pieces sticking up just slightly above the timbers. They're going to be where the corners of the shower tray are going to sit down, and we can use them as just some attach points. We'll just use some Sikaflex or some grab adhesive just on the corners just to pull that down. That's going to be attached down onto the floor. We're going to use some of the plastic corner clips that we use for our VW T5 cabinet build. We'll show you those in a second. But all that's going to do is that's going to sit down to the floor, give us a nice secure base, and then we've got our shower tray, which is then going to sit down on top here. We've got our touch points just here where we can put some Sikaflex in just onto the top of these to hold it down, and then we're going to be Sikaflexing the shower tray onto the floor to give it a nice strong grip. Our shower waste is going to be going straight down through the floor out of one of these points, probably out of the far corner. We'll probably give it a slight raise on the back or the front just to give a slight fall, just so we get water going down the draining, not sitting in the pan. But that's everything we need to do for that. So next thing we're going to be doing now is putting a side on. So we're going to be putting the sides and the back onto the base. So we've got our ply going up. We're going to be using some PVC walling for this. So what we'll do is once it's all fitted in, we'll have our ply board up here. We'll probably just run some expanding foam just around the outside just to give it a nice secure fit, make sure it's all nice and snug in there, and then that gives us the ability to fit our PVC walling down the side. And then we'll be using silicone to go around the outside to give it that nice waterproof finish. So that's the start of the shower. We're going to be building this as a module. Don't know whether we're going to be building it in situ inside the van at the moment, or whether we're going to be building it outside and then lifting it in. All depends on our wall panels. So let's get on and start fitting the back and sides. Right, so we're now going to be building the side of the shower. We're going to start off with the sides and then build the back afterwards. So we've got our 12mm ply, which we're measuring out to the width and the height. We're going to be putting these all the way up to the roof of the van, and then we're going to be insulating it over the top. And again, like I said, this will be then filled, covered with PVC lining to make it fully waterproof. So what we've done is we've just gone and marked down the board. We're now going to rip this down with the circular saw. So this is the right width. We then need to measure the height just so we get the right height in the van. Obviously the front of this is going to be completely square, but then the back we're going to need to sculpt into the contour of the side of the van, and we'll show you a really neat way of being able to do that with a piece of ply this sort of size. So let's go ahead and use the circular saw and rip down through this. Okay, so we now have the piece of ply that we're going to be using for the side of the shower in the van. Obviously it needs to contour up against this side. Up until about here the van is pretty straight, but then we do have a bit of a curve at the top. So the way we're going to be going about doing that is getting a scrap piece of wood like this bit just here, and then what we'll be doing is cutting that to be the widest part of the van at the bottom, and we'll be putting a pencil at the end of it and dragging it up, and then that will give us the contour of the van on this piece of wood. So the first thing we've got to do is just measure the distance from here to the bottom of our piece of ply, go away and cut this scrap piece of wood to length, and then we can use that to draw up the side. So we're going to measure that up, go and cut this piece of wood. So now we've got our piece of wood, we've got our pencil. What we're going to do is start off with the thickest part down here, start off right in the corner, and then all we do is just drag our piece of wood up against the side of the van, drawing our line. So now we have a nice contour on the piece of wood where we can go and use a jigsaw, cut that down, and then that should fit in nice and flush against the side of the van. So what we've done now, as you can see, fitted the side panels inside the van. They're just leaning at the moment. We've also had to fit in behind the shower the hot air duct for the truma. This is where the truma is going to be going, just in the bench seat part just here. So we've just left the pipework there for now. But this pipework is going to be going down into the garage area, just to give us some warm air going into the garage so things don't get damp. So we've just run that behind a backboard. As you can see, we've also cut the other side of the board. We just used this first side as a template. Just drew on the outside of it, which is the same shape, the same height. And then we've got the shower tray sat in. We're also going to be using some thinner ply just on the back wall here. So this gives us a nice straight back wall. Again, this will be clad with some PVC, so we've kind of gone up 3/4 of the way up the wall with one piece, and now we're just going to fit a second piece up here just for where the van wall contours. There will be a join in this bit of wood, but obviously with the PVC over the top there's going to be no problem. We've just screwed this in temporarily for now just so we get the shape, and then we're going to start fitting everything together. So the next bit we're going to be doing is cutting the second piece of panelling to go up the back, and then we can start joining the walls on. We're just fitting this in temporarily at the moment because we still need to be running some pipe work behind the back of the shower. So we need to run some cold water down to the truma and some gas pipe to go to the truma as well. So we're just loosely fastening everything together so that we can take it all back out when we need to run some pipe work. So let's go and cut that piece of board. So these are all the parts we've got to connect together. This is the piece of 4x1 that we've got at the top, just to give it that extra piece of rigidity. So when the two side panels come together, we'll be screwing this in here just so that we get that nice rigidity on the shower door. We don't want it to be rattling around as we're driving, and it also keeps it square. As I said, we're going to have another piece of ply along the front of this here, which we're then going to cut a hole out the middle of, and we're going to use some tambour door as a rolling door that can go around the side. So we need to install some tambour door strips just down inside so that we can have the rolling door around on the shower tray. We haven't got that just yet, so we'll be picking that up in the next couple of weeks and we'll be installing that. But now we just need to screw everything together and make it into a nice shower unit. So the walls of the shower are now all fixed in place. We've got all of our services going through down here. So we've got hot and cold water, 12 volt, 240 volt. We've got the cable coming through for the battery monitor. We've got our gas pipe, and we've got our blown hot air pipe going through the back as well, all cut out, run nicely behind the shower. As I said, we've added in a brace just at the top just to give it a bit more rigidity, and then we've got our shower tray in place. It's not fixed down to the floor at the moment. We're going to be fixing that down at a later date. But for now, we've got all the back in place. So So that's all done. So we can now go ahead and order our PVC panelling to go on the side walls and the back, and then get it all nice and watertight. Also probably going to treat the wood with some waterproofing paint just to begin with, just so that if any moisture does ever get in back onto this ply, then it's just got an extra bit of protection. As you can see, we've had to put in a bit of a kink just in the back panel just here. Second bit of ply just to go up to the ceiling. It's just from the curve of the van, but the PVC should be able to handle that. It's only 2mm thick, the PVC, so it should stretch enough. For the roof, we've gone right up into the roof cavity. We're going to be putting some insulation board up there and then a piece of ply along the roof beam that we'll be then putting PVC panelling on as well, just so that we've got that nice waterproof finish all the way around. You can also use this strengthener bar to put the timber door runner on, so that'll be a nice fixture there that we can fix it onto. So we're going to be ordering that. Put a link in the description below to the place where we're potentially going to be ordering that from. A company called Motorhomes do that. So as you can see, this side, all of the services are going into the back of the garage. We've got our blown air heater pipe that we're going to be putting out into the garage, just so we've got a bit of heat going into the garage area. Still got to buy some extra T-pieces just for our hot water piping, just so we can split that off so that it goes across to the sink area. All the water pipes, all the gas pipe and everything is going back into the garage area. Nice and neat hole going through into the garage just there. So to fix in the wooden shower tray base, what we're going to be using is these plastic rigid joints. Pick these up from Wix. All they are is just a plastic triangle shape. Camera focus is just on those. It can sit in the corners, can screw it to the floor and into the base of the shower tray, and it just holds it in place. So we'll be using a selection of these around the shower tray, just so it holds that base in place. So this is the way that those rigid joints sit in. They're not screwed down at the moment, they're just sat in there, but they just screw into the floor of the van and then screw into the wooden frame, just to give it a nice solid fixture to the floor. So we'll probably put 2 on this side, 2 on that side, and then 1 in the middle on the front and back, just to give us a nice secure finish into the van. So that's all we're going to be doing for today. Got that finished. So the next piece we're going to be buying, we need to, for the shower, just need to buy the PVC panelling to go on the backs and sides and on the roof. So we need to measure up how much we need for that, and then we'll get that ordered. But a really good job this weekend. Glad to get back out and carry on working on the van. It's starting to come along really nicely now. Starting to really look like a camper van. And we can see how everything's going to fit together. So that's it for another week. Thank you very much for tuning in. As I said before, we're glad the weather's back. We're glad we're back out on the van, continuing to work, looking to get it finished in the next couple of weeks so that we can get out and start using it. Over the next few weeks, we've got a couple of things being delivered. Spoke to someone about the cooker this week, so hopefully that's back in stock on Thursday and we can get that ordered and get that installed in the van. If you are liking this video, remember to give us a good thumbs up. It really helps our channel. We really like hearing any of those comments you've got. Remember to leave those in the comments down below. And if you haven't already done so, remember to hit that big subscribe button. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed to our channel and that continues to support us in our journey of building out our camper van. Remember, if there's anything you would like us to show in these videos, remember to leave us a comment below. So until next time, we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye!